Hey, my name's Rich. I'm a filmmaker from London in the UK, and I have bought some new kit. So I've bought some new kit. I'll explain the reasons why I've bought what I've bought, and hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight. So in my set, I had the 24 to 105 f4 Sony, which is it was great. I still use it. I still will use it a lot. Um, and I then also had I still have a 70 to 200 f4 again. So when I bought these, I bought it with all my kit, and so I had a budget, I had a limit, and I wanted to buy two cameras. I wanted to buy a gimbal and some lenses. So it probably explains why I didn't get G Master, because I had a budget. I didn't want to go over a certain amount. I didn't have an extra couple of grand basically to spend, and I bought the 70 to 200 second hand on eBay. I found a really good deal, and it was great. It came and it was basically brand new. I also got the 24 to 105 on a deal. Well, it was like £200 cash back with CVP. So when I bought that, I got some money off. So that was great. So I don't have all the money in the world to buy G Master lenses, and of course I would like to, and I would have done if I had the money, but the practicalities of it is that I couldn't. And so I did about 8 months with those lenses, and I shot some stuff, but they were fine with most cases. But what I found is that, like, when I was shooting interviews, talking head interviews, and you're stuck in a small room in the corner because you want to try and get as much depth as you can, it wasn't giving me the results that I actually kind of knew I could get and I wanted. Having previously worked for a production company where I did have fast lenses, I was a little bit like, oh, I know the shots can be better because you can open up a bit wider, especially f4. Like it doesn't open up wide enough. So in the meantime, what I was doing is I was using some vintage lenses I had, and shooting the interview, the A cam with like a 2.8 or a 1.8 aperture with those vintage lenses. But then my B cam was a Sony lens, and so what happened there is that then the contrast between the lenses and the tone of the images just wasn't matching, and so I decided to buy a few lenses. So I decided to bite the bullet and buy some prime lenses. I bought the Sirui Vision Primes, basically because they were relatively cheap and fast lenses. They're 1.4, so they're relatively fast, and you get three of them. You get a 24, 35 and a 50, and their E-mount. So they've just arrived, and oh yeah, also I got 22% off. So instead of 1,800 and something, they were like just under one. They were just over 1,400. So pretty good discount as well. So that's cool. So I've got a shoot tomorrow, so I'll take them out of the box, see how they go, and I'll show you how I get on tomorrow. So I actually decided to buy the Sirui Vision Prime ones. Yes. And they are a set of three lenses, 24, 35 and 50. And they are T1.4, and I got them last week, and I've shot with them, and they're great. They open up to 1.4, so that gives me nice sort of depth in the background and allows me to like separate the subject when I'm doing talking heads, which is great. The 1.4 just is great. On a full frame lens, you get that like fall off, that focus, out of focus fall off, which is just like really nice. I love it. It looks great. I didn't actually shoot the interview at f1.4 or T2 T1.4 because it just causes problems if the subject is moving, and so I shot it at like 2.8 or around 2. Marginal difference really, but it just allows things to be a little bit sharper. So yeah, I shot with them and they were really, really good. I also bought the 16-25 G lens 2.8 Sony lens. So I also bought a 16-25 2.8 Sony lens, and this lens is wide. It's a wide boy, and the reason I bought this is pretty much I saw some footage of someone using a really wide lens and I was like, fuck me, I want that. So I went and bought one. I didn't buy the G Master version because, again, expensive, budget, but this one is a 2.8 and I don't see myself using it all the time, but I see myself using it quite often to do sort of like wide gimbal shots. I think this is where this lens will be used the most. It's awesome. I've used it a couple of times. I've used it to sort of do interiors, and it really, really makes like the interiors shine. And it's gonna be put in my bag every single time I go on a shoot. So yeah,